TV's roving reporter asks another question of the person on the street. Today's question: suppose you play basketball every day and you score 20 points per day. Estimate how long it would take to score 1 million points.
Probably 5 months.
Maybe a year. Yeah,
A year.
Like 40 years or something.
It would take about 136 years.
Oops.
How long would it take to score 1 billion points?
It's probably double what you just said.
Maybe billion points? 400 years.
I'd say about 136,000 years.
You're right.
Really? How?
It would take about 136,000 years.
Tough game.
Mathematics is a wonderful tool, so use it, and don't be a fool. Martha told me that.
These two contestants, Kenny Yu and Chris Elliott, will separate mathematical fact from fiction on Square One Challenge. Hi, everybody. I'm Reggie Cathy, and welcome to Square One Challenge. And now let's meet the host of our show, Mr. Larry Cedar.
Hello, hi, hello. Welcome to Square One Challenge. Very glad to have you with us today. We've got some great questions and some very super guests. So say hello. Hello, Chris. Hello, Kenny. Welcome to the show and have fun. You know how the game is played, so let's get right to the first question. It's a video question, so keep your eyes on the video monitor. Here it is. Two trains were 100 miles apart. They started toward each other at the same time. One train was traveling 28 miles per hour. The other was traveling 44 miles per hour. When they met sometime later, which train had traveled for the longer period of time? When they met sometime later, which train had traveled for the longer period of time? There's the question. And now for some answers to that question, let's meet our guests for today from Square One TV, Beverly Mickens and Chris Franco.
Hi,
hello.
Larry.
Well, what do you think? Which train had traveled for the longer period of time? Chris?
Well, the faster train, because fast trains cover more distance.
All right. Chris says the faster train. Beverly?
What? Chris, are you kidding? It's the slower train, because the slower train takes longer to travel anywhere.
Beverly says the slower train. All right, Chris, Kenny, it's up to you to decide if Beverly is telling the truth or bluffing, and if Chris is telling the truth or bluffing. You'll get 50 points for each correct decision you make. Now remember, they may both be telling the truth or both bluffing, so think about it. Two trains, 100 miles apart, traveling towards each other. Which one will have traveled for the longer period of time? Chris, your decisions.
I think both Beverly and Chris are bluffing.
Chris is bluffing and Beverly is bluffing. And Kenny?
I say that Chris is bluffing and Beverly is bluffing.
You believe also that both Chris and Beverly are bluffing. Let's find out for 100 points in the first question of the game how you did. Will the truth tellers please stand? Absolutely right. It's a double bluff. Neither Chris nor Beverly was telling the truth. Why? We're off to a bluffing start. Let's find out why. Chris?
It's exactly as the guy said. We're both wrong. The train started at the same time, and they met at the same time. So they traveled the same amount of time. It doesn't matter how fast the trains were going.
Yeah, that's sort of tricky.
It is indeed. What a hard first question. Let's see how you did, though. Chris, you said that Chris was bluffing and Beverly was bluffing. You were correct about both. You'll get 100 points on the board. Good start. Kenny, you were also correct about Chris and Beverly. 100 points for you. It's a tie game. We're off to a super start. Here is the second question. And helping us out with that second question from Square One TV is Cynthia Darlow. Hello. You can see here that Cynthia has two boxes, which have these blue squares on them. Here's the question. If I were to glue these two boxes together so that the two blue squares were exactly aligned on top of each other, could the boxes look like any of these samples? A, B, or C? That's the question, and now with an answer to that question, let's go to Chris Franco.
It could be B. For the square to match, you have to turn one of the boxes sideways and then around.
Chris says B. Beverly?
It could be A. I mean, you don't need to turn one box around. You just line them up.
All right, there's your answers. Think about it. If you put these two boxes together and align the blue squares exactly on top of each other, what could they look like, A, B, or C? All right, Chris, your decisions.
I think Beverly is telling the truth and Chris is bluffing.
Beverly telling the truth and Chris bluffing. Kenny?
I think Beverly is telling the truth and Chris is bluffing.
You believe that Beverly is telling the truth and Chris is bluffing. Let's find out how you did for 100 points. Will the truth tellers please stand? They are both telling the truth. Let's find out why from Chris.
Well, that's right. We're both right. If I hold the two boxes like this, the two squares are right on top of each other. But I could turn the top box like this, and the squares are still exactly aligned with each other.
Yeah, see, this way, it looks like A. And this way, it looks like B.
That's very interesting. Now, what about C? Do you think that could? That's something to think about out there in the audience while we check the scores here. Chris, you were correct about Beverly only, but you get 50 points. You now have a total of 150. Kenny, you were correct about Beverly as well. You get 50 points for a total of 150. We have a tie game going into the challenge round. Nice job. With the challenge question is, oh, and some ice cream. Ha! Reg, Kathy, thank you very much. Oh, almost spilled my ice cream. Let's see. I have a feeling that this ice cream has something to do with the challenge question. Yes, indeed, it does. Now, this challenge question is worth 200 points. But to get the 200 points, you must be correct about both Beverly and Chris. So, pay close attention. Good luck. It's all or nothing. Every day after practice, the Minnesota Munchkins order 25 scoops of ice cream. Now, they order 3 scoops of eggplant ice cream, which is this attractive purple flavor, and 2 scoops of carrot ice cream down below. Here's the question. How many eggplant scoops do they order? They order 25 scoops of ice cream altogether, 3 scoops of eggplant for every 2 scoops of carrot. Let me repeat that. I don't know if that was quite clear. They order 3 scoops of eggplant for every 2 scoops of carrot. How many eggplant scoops did they order? Chris?
Well, 3 to 2 is equivalent to 15 to 10. So they ordered 15 scoops of eggplant and 10 scoops of carrot.
Chris says 15 scoops. Beverly?
3 to 2. See, that's only a difference of 1. So they ordered 13 scoops of eggplant and 12 scoops of carrot.
Beverly says 13 scoops. Think about it. They ordered 25 scoops of ice cream, 3 scoops of eggplant ice cream for every 2 scoops of carrot ice cream. All right, time for your decisions. Chris?
I think Chris is telling the truth and Beverly is bluffing.
You believe Chris is telling the truth with 15 scoops and Beverly is bluffing with 13 scoops. Kenny?
I think Chris is telling the truth and Beverly is bluffing.
You also believe that Chris is telling the truth and Beverly is bluffing. Let's find out how you did for the challenge question worth 200 points. You must be correct about both of our guests to get the 200 points. Will the truth tellers please stand? Chris was telling the truth. Beverly was bluffing. Could we get an explanation? Chris?
Certainly. Here are the 25 scoops. Now, each cone has 3 scoops of eggplant and 2 scoops of carrot. Now, that's a ratio of 3 to 2. That's 15 scoops of eggplant and 10 scoops of carrot.
There you have it. Thank you for your answers. Let's see how our contestants did. Chris, you were correct about Chris and Beverly. 200 points for you for a total of 350. Kenny, you were correct about Chris and Beverly as well. 200 points for you, a total of 350. We have a tie game. Both Chris and Kenny are our grand prize winners. Congratulations to you both. A game well played. Now, in the event of a tie, equal prizes are awarded. You will both receive the Square One TV jacket and the sound machine. So I must congratulate you both on a game well played. Very close. Thanks for playing. Thanks for helping out. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time on Square One Challenge. And so the bear acquiesced. I mean, after all, He had no other choice. But folks, listen, you do have a choice. Right here, right now, on Math-Za-Poppin Square One-a-thon. Now, you know, this is the only television fundraiser in television fundraising history that doesn't beg for funds. We just want your pledge to use mathematics. Now, don't try to call. Oops, don't try to write. Just pledge your use of mathematics every day, every night, even on the weekends and the holidays. And we want to know how you use math. Where you use math, when you use math, why you use math. Just tell us everything. Let's check in and see how we're doing over at Math Pledge Central.
Thanks, Larry. And we're looking good. In our first hour on the air, we received 126 pledges. But look what's happened since. In the second hour, we moved steadily along, and we have received 624 pledges. That's almost 5 times as many, nearly 500%. So keep those math pledges coming. Larry?
Beverly, thank you so much. Did you hear that, folks? Nearly 500%. I'm amazed, and I'm extremely pleased. Folks, keep pledging your allegiance to mathematics. It means so much to all of us.
Excuse me, sir.
Yes.
Can you tell me how I can get to the Kentucky Derby?
Well, certainly. The Kentucky Derby is at Churchill Downs, Kentucky. Let's see now. From here, according to this map, I would estimate the distance to be nearly 630 miles south and west.
Thank you very much. I got lost in that turn for home. Well, come along, Gumlegs.
Excuse me. This horse is awfully small to be running in the Kentucky Derby.
Yes, but you should see him in the short races.
I see. Well, good luck to you and good luck to us. I think we have some more pledges coming in right now. Yes, we do indeed. So we're going to check in and see how we're doing at Pledge Central with Arthur. I bet you we got some good news here.
Thanks, Larry. We're hanging in there. As you can see, we've already reached 30% of our goal. This pie chart indicates our goal, 100%. We want everyone to pledge to use mathematics. We want to reach 100%. As you can see, we have already received 30% of our goal. That's nearly 1/3 of our hopes and dreams. Keep those pledges coming. Back to you, Larry.
Arthur, thank you very much for that most encouraging report. Folks, I got to tell you, this has been one heck of a day. We have pledges coming in from all around the country. There's a lot of people using math out there. We want you to use math, too. And as Arthur said, we've had great news today. I mean, really great news. Already we've received almost 1/3 of our goal. This is terrific. So we want you to keep it up, folks, because Math-Za-Poppin is poppin'. What can I say? Hello there, ma'am. Welcome to Math-Za-Poppin.
Hello, I'm just passing through. I'm taking my dog to the vet.
You're taking your dog to the vet.
That's right.
But I don't see any dog on your leash.
That's why I'm taking him to the vet. He needs his eyes checked. Oh, ciao!
Okay. Oh, boy. I tell you, that dog was a sight for sore eyes. I gotta tell you. Listen, folks, keep sending in those math pledges. We're going to meet our quota this year, and we can do it. I know we can do it. Just keep using math. Now, you're not going to wear it out. Believe me, you can use any part of math over and over and over again. Seriously, try it. You'll like it. Oh, now back to the normally scheduled program.
Mathman, your mission is to eat only even numbers. When you encounter a number, you will have until the count of 3 to make your decision. And beware the venomous Mr. Glitch. He will eat you if you are wrong.
Mathman, 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 Mathman.
All right.
Looks even. Awfully cute. Mathman, Mathman, Mathman. Even numbers, Mathman, Mathman. Looks even. Mathman, 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 Mathman.
I enjoy being a glitch.
Sooner or later, you're gonna see some math. You can your path. You can count on it. You may be hoping it'll go away, but let me tell you, math is here to stay. You can count on it. Yeah, you can count on it. Everywhere you look, they're measuring the action. You can count on it. Yeah. Everywhere you look, they're even using fractions. You can count on it. They keep the time and they're keeping the score. They draw the line and they're running the score. You can count on it. Yeah, you can count on it. Look at the dial, look at how far, look at how much, look where we are. Look at the gauge, look at the graph, check out the numbers, you got the last laugh. Cause it ain't mystery, there's nothing tough about it, you can count on it. That's right. You're gonna see that you couldn't live without it, you can count on it. Don't take a genius or a great magician to make a pretty good mathematician. You can count on it. Yeah, yeah, you can count on it. Oh, you can count on it. Baby, you can count on it. Count down, 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 count down, 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 yeah.
The story you are about to see is a fib, but it's short. The names are made up, but the problems are real.
It was Monday, 6:43 a.m., and New York City was gaga over its latest architectural unveiling, a 27-story building made of mahogany whose top looked like a Persian rotunda, draped from which were 4 yellow solar panels. A handful of detractors said it looked like knobs on a 4-poster bed with slices of Swiss cheese hanging on it. I was working the day watch out of Mathnet. My partner is George Frankley. The captain is Joe Greco. My name is Monday. I'm a mathematician. Well, if it isn't the Ancient Mariner. Morning, George.
Hey, Pard, what's new?
You're asking me?
Oh, Martha picked this up for me at Abercrombie's. You like it?
It's fetching. But why are you wearing it?
Didn't you hear the weather report? There's a 50% chance of rain.
In our office?
No. Outside, Kate. I didn't want to take a chance with our new Big Apple outfits. Thanks, Harvey.
They are nice, aren't they?
Didn't you at least bring an umbrella?
No, George, I'm an optimist. If there's a 50% chance that it will rain, there's also a 50% chance that it won't rain, so I'll just stand in that 50% of the day.
You're a pretty funny mathematician, Kate.
You know, I never did understand why those weather predictors do that percentage thing anyway.
But to cover themselves, I guess. Nobody can predict the weather precisely all the time. So under a certain set of conditions, for example, they might say that there's a 90% chance it'll rain.
Uh-huh. 9 out of 10 times, right?
Right. Well, you know what they say. Everyone talks about the weather, but nobody does anything about it.
They do say that, but you're going to do something about it.
Morning, Skipper. Do something about what?
The weather.
I already did. I got a new slicker.
What's up, Captain Greco?
I wish I knew for certain. Have you heard of SWI?
No.
I don't know much about it, but it stands for Strategic Weather Initiative. Some wacky inventor, Spiro Gearloose, has developed some kind of machine that can control the weather, or so he claims.
You mean some device that seeds clouds to cause rain?
Well, I think it's more complicated than that. Anyway, he's going to unveil it at a ceremony at MacArthur Airport, and we've got to supply security.
Security? Against what? Weather swipers?
The government has bought into this project. People from Washington will be there. Congressmen, folks from the Polygon, all kinds of bigwigs.
So what's our mission?
Get out there and put together a plan to make the area secure. The ceremony will take place in hangar 1313. Good luck.
With 2 13s, we'll need good luck. Come on, Pard.
Let's roll. slicker, George.
Oh, right.
And if it doesn't rain, you can always help me across the street. George and I used maps of the area to determine the best places to set our people. We wanted to secure as much area as possible with as few people, getting maximum efficiency. I'm Kate Monday. This is my partner, George.
Frankly,
Mathnet.
I'm Congressman Stuart Foley. This is Lieutenant Colonel Stanley, South. And this is Spiro Gearloose. He's the father of SWI.
Charmed, I'm sure. Well, we've only got about 2 hours before the unveiling of SWI. Get cracking.
I don't mean to appear dense,
That's all right.
but just what is SWI?
It's the most revolutionary invention since, oh, I don't know.
Those little plastic things you use to pack dishes in that get all over the rug.
We know that it means Strategic Weather Initiative, but we don't know what that means.
I don't think we should tell them until we run a security check on them.
Colonel, they're going to hear all about it in 2 hours anyway.
Well, just the same.
Imagine what it would be like if we could put a big electronic dome all around the Earth.
A big dome?
All around the Earth?
Doesn't that sound super duper?
I guess I don't follow you.
That's what SWI will do.
Well, I guess with a dome around the Earth, we'd never lose anything. I mean, it'd have to be around someplace.
Mr. Gearloose, working with a secret committee in Congress, which I head.
And with me, head of Polygon's Crack, Watch Out Behind You division.
Have developed a way to control weather throughout the world. Don't you see what a boon to mankind this is?
I guess so. You may never need your slicker again, Pard.
I control the weather by moving the weather. Isn't that a spiffy notion?
You move the weather?
Let's say there are raging floods in Bangladesh, and at the same time, drought in the United States. I can move the moisture from the floods into the drought areas, thus saving lives and crops and businesses.
That's amazing. But does it work?
Of course it works. Polygon wouldn't spend a bunch of money on some jerky idea that doesn't work, would it?
Gosh, no. But just how is this accomplished?
It's all handled by an unmanned aircraft, the Z-13, which can be flown into orbit.
Like a space capsule?
Yes, and it's specially equipped, and it's more maneuverable and can be controlled by radio beams by me right here on Earth. I can deploy the panels to block out the sun. I can stir up the clouds with chaff. I can make the wind blow.
But you too can understand why we need the utmost in security. If SWI should fall into enemy hands.
I see. They could control the weather and make things pretty rotten for us.
Worse, they could conquer us without firing a shot.
Yes, of course. The plane is in the hangar?
That's right.
May we see it?
You can have a peek.
A peek?
Yes, walk that way. Look through that hole in the door. The temperature is controlled and critical, so we don't want the door open until the ceremony.
Wow. Take a look at this, Kate.
Pretty impressive. Just one thing.
What?
There's a giant hair.
What? A giant hair?
On the plane.
Something's wrong!
What's this, a slide protector?
Where's the plane?
It's been plane napped.
Someone will hang for this and turn slowly in the wind. I gotta use the phone.
George, I'm going to take a look around.
Didn't you have this place under guard?
24 hours a day. Nobody could have gotten in or out without proper identification.
Well, somebody did, And they did it in a truck.
The plane could have been stolen at any time. The guards have been looking through that peephole and seeing just a picture of the plane.
The tracks are pretty fresh, Congressman.
Sure?
It rained here last night, didn't it?
Yes, it poured. Stopped about 3 a.m.
Then the plane had to have been stolen after 3 a.m.
Where do you get off with that kind of thinking, Civvy?
If they'd stolen the plane before 3 a.m., the tracks that are outside would have washed away.
Oh.
Can we find the man that was on guard duty at the time?
He's on his way.
Report!
Private Willie Clives reporting, sir.
Stand at ease. I said stand at ease, not collapse.
Were you on duty last night, Private?
Yes, sir.
Ma'am.
Yes, ma'am, sir. I was.
Did anything unusual happen on your tour?
You mean like, did a big truck come here and drive inside the hangar?
Yes.
Yes.
More questioning revealed that the driver showed Willie proper ID, drove the truck into the hangar, remained for about 10 minutes, and left about 6 a.m. Willie said he looked through the peephole and the plane looked fine. He didn't know he was looking at a picture. We decided to check out those tire tracks. Look at this, George. 2 sets of tracks, one is deeper than the other.
Uh-huh.
These tracks were made when the truck came in. They're not as deep as these. The second tracks were made when the truck left. They're deeper.
That's because the truck was carrying a heavy airplane in its cargo bay. I'm sorry, Mr. Gearloose, but I'm afraid you're going to have to pick yourself up, dust yourself off, and...
Start all over again. The Z-13 took nearly 20 years to perfect.
But now that your plans...
I have no plan.
Your records.
The mission was so important.
Yes.
So hush-hush.
You were afraid the plans and records
would fall into enemy hands?
And now, the plane has fallen into enemy hands.
100% of Square One TV is a production of the Children's Television Workshop. For a complete set of Square One TV